not about recording. There, now
Okay,
you're
so
recording.
Okay, we're recording.
Yeah.
You did it. Congratulations. The
Yay.
walk is complete on Mother's Day, May
Oh
9th,
gosh,
2021.
yes.
Woo!
Ooh.
How does it feel?
It's kind of surreal. I'm like, even up to the last minute, I was like, oh, and then seeing Lynn and Mika and her husband Hiro at the finish line. That basically, I was coming to their house, and that was like the impetus of the original purpose of like, can I walk to their house?
and then,
yeah, I did it, and so it was cool to see them there, and we had a little pizza party on the beach, and yeah, it was lovely and great, and like, just like, I'm still so tired, and I'm now getting a phone call here at the same time as this call.
Wow.
But I don't see it on Zoom. Gosh.
No, can't see it. Yeah. That's wild that you started with the pizza party and ended with the pizza party.
Yeah.
Did you hit the amusement parks like you were talking about?
Well, in a couple of cases, yes, but
your video's down.
Yes, I had to. Okay. I turned off the line call.
Okay.
Sorry, Eddie. I'll call you back. I visited Yomiuri-land, and then Cebu Inn was closed, and another park was basically just for kids. I didn't even go inside, and the third park was too far off my track. I was like, nope, forget about it. So yeah. I didn't. I started to like focus the trip. I was like, I'll go over here, and I'll go over here, and then at the end, I was like, nope, I'm going straight
line,
straight to the end.
Yeah,
kind of thing. So
what is your hope from this walk? I know like there's you have
purposes,
but part of it was around mindfulness and being present.
Yeah,
but also
absolutely.
About inspiring people, taking a stand, walking for something that you believe in.
Yes.
Is there some hope that you have that this will inspire other people? Or
a lot of people who how do we say it, like, who took the time to like chat with me, which wasn't everyone, but were like, gambate and arigato, like thank you and do your best, and kind of support. And it's hard to know if people were inspired in Japanese. I don't know if that came across, but some of my English speaking friends said they were inspired by the walk, and so I'm definitely glad about that. Had lovely connection with some fellow backpackers last night in the guest house Gugu, was the last place I stayed, and they also have a restaurant called Restaurant Gugu. And they were also backpackers, and they wanted to create a good environment for travelers, so they've done a good job. That's in Shirone is the name of the city.
Shirone
in Niigata. It was really lovely to hang out with them.
So they must have been impressed, at least maybe inspired.
Yeah, I would say inspired, or they were so nice. They actually bought me dinner the last night. Wow. And made sandwiches this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you.
That's cool.
Really super gratitude for that. Let's see if I can turn off this.
So I was asking different people like what questions to ask you, and one of the questions that a Japanese friend asked is like, what was his favorite part? Did you have any favorite sites or locations?
The favorite location, let me think of like let me try to turn this off. Oh gosh.
People are calling you left and right. Huh? Congratulations.
It's my wife's phone. It's an iPhone. I forgot how to turn it off, and it's like Siri is talking to me.
Yeah, press on both sides, the left and right side.
Both sides. Hey, slide to power off. Done. The coolest thing was like, gosh, just north of Sarugakyo Onsen area. That means monkey capital, by the way.
Monkey capital. Wow. By the way, just so you know, you're frozen in a really funny picture right now.
I'm frozen.
But keep speaking. It's kind of funny.
Okay. I north of Monkey Capital.
You're back. Okay.
I stopped at Jason was with me at that point. We stopped at Lodge Montose, and the next thing was a tunnel, basically, on Route 17. And the owner was like, yeah, there's no way around the tunnel and no reasonable way around it. And he said he would drive us through the tunnel. And we checked the highways, like, there's not that much traffic, so I think we'll walk. And he's like, all right, be careful. And that's when we discovered it was like the land of the lost, in the middle of actually two tunnels that had been connected with some kind of a windowed tunnel between them. There was also like 4 meter by 4 meter exit that the doors were wide open. A truck could drive through. And
yeah, you mentioned that.
We were just right out into the middle of the jungle, practically. Like the forest was so beautiful and so cool. So that still like ranks right up there as the coolest thing that we saw. And it's because we didn't get a ride through the tunnel, because otherwise we would just drive right past it and not even know it was there. So I'm really glad.
So you didn't take any rides, right? You walked the whole way.
Right? Yeah. Except for one day, the day I lost my phone, that started a one day of getting a ride with Lynn. She had already, we were planning to meet already, and it turned out to be the day that my phone died. And the next day we drove around to the phone shop to try to get a new one, but it didn't work out. I had to basically call the insurance guys, and they sent one to my next hotel.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah,
so it must be nice to have.
Yeah, it was nice to have a little break, but also it's like, I didn't actually walk all the way, it's like 10 kilometers or something. It's not that far, but it was just beginning to get into the mountains. And so it would have been, but because we drove, this was amazing. On the road, they have like little rumble strips, you might call it, but they made like a tone as the car wheels drove across them, and they played "When You Wish Upon a Star" in the rumble, like on the highways. When you wish, it was very like monochromatic, but it was "When You Wish Upon a Star."
Wow.
In the rumble strip tones while we were driving on the road. And Lynn's like, what's that noise? I'm like, hang on, that's a song. Oh my gosh. It was so surprising. I would never have known that, obviously, if I were walking.
You were walking, right.
I may have noticed the strips, but I wouldn't have heard the entire song in sequence.
Right. Wow.
As we're going across.
That's cool.
That was almost worth getting a ride. Sorry.
Yeah, for that. That's cool. It must be nice to have your wife's support too. It seems like she was really behind you.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For a while, she was like, "Are you sure?" But she.
You want to do this walk?
Yeah.
Wow. And then she's there for you at the end. That's awesome.
Those rumble strips were on the highway just before Planet Toy Day and Planet Restroom. Oh, it's Planet Restroom and Planet Restaurant in English, or in Japanese, both times. So you can find those rumble strips if you want to drive across them.
Oh wow. I have heard
Is
this
it?
before too in Hiroshima. A different song, but
Oh, really? Wow.
one place where I heard something. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Very
neat.
creative. Was there any point where you wanted to like say, "Why did I do this? I got to turn back."
Yeah.
This is too much."
And
When was that?
shout out to my friend Tradon for helping me stay on the course.
Oh yeah.
Our friend. Gosh, it was around day 8, I think, that I had a splinter in one foot and glass or some kind of a stab wound in the other foot. And then I went to those hurt. I went to a doctor and it hurt 10 times worse after they did minor surgery, but like the Novocaine in the like to kill the pain in the foot. When that wore off, the pain was like 10 times worse than the splinter had been. And I just like really couldn't bear walking more than I could, like, at all. And so I thought like more than a few steps would be truly agonizing. And the next morning I was like, I'm done, because there was a train station, like a JR line with like a Tokaido, what was it? Like a Tokaido line right at the hotel. I was like, I know exactly how to get home. Don't even have to look at the map. I can just go right back,
And nobody would know,
And no one, gosh.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that. And Shradan helped you out?
He was like, he said, how will you, something like, how will you feel later if you make this choice now? And I was like, leave me alone. I was like feeling anger, like, you don't know the pain I'm feeling. And I sat with it. I was like, all right, yeah, okay, you're right. So I stayed on course, and but yeah, I definitely, and then somehow the pain just kind of went away, and I don't know how to explain that, but within an hour or so, it was like, it was fine. That was the next morning though, after it was hurting like all night.
Wow.
Just like couldn't even move my foot.
It's like the cure.
While sleeping, it was amazing pain.
Wow. So do you so what's next? Do you want to do another one? Want to walk back?
I would not right now walk back, but next time I will not be so what's vain to say that I can walk barefoot the whole way. Like, no, forget that. I will get some proper shoes and walk barefoot when it makes sense, and wear shoes where it makes sense.
Well, you did say that.
I only wore.
You did say that you weren't going to wear. You probably wouldn't.
Well, yeah, but I got my T-shirt made and the flyers made it like barefoot, blah blah blah. So
mostly barefoot.
Yeah. So
Probably
anyway, it's going to just say walking.
Yeah.
If anything, but I'll probably take a cue from a man named Craig Maude, who is also doing long walks, and I'm not going to have any cards or anything, I don't think, but not for the specific walk, but maybe in general, kind of like long walk kind of card in general, but not the specific location. But yeah, I've been thinking about how to optimize, how to do a little bit different / easier, better, smarter, and more connected to like real-time live streaming. Because he did something like, every day at 5 p.m. he would broadcast for 30 minutes and let people jump on the thing. And that's something that I had haphazard, like, live streams, and therefore like maybe 1, 2, 3 people jump on, but that was usually for 0 people watching for most of my live streams. So I'll plan that better next time. Yeah, but yeah, I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
Like,
well, what would you say you walked? What percentage is it percentage would you estimate that you walk barefoot?
Roughly half, I'd say, because there were several days, full days, that I walked barefoot the entire way, and there were for the first 5 or 6 days I was barefoot completely, and then for the next some days I was in sandals completely, and then thereafter it was like kind of half and half. Today I was in sandals 80% of the sorry opposite. I was barefoot 80% of the time.
Wow.
Today,
the last day.
Yeah. On the last day, just for one segment that I was walking in between three rivers that all kind of come together, and I climbed up. There's a bridge and then a spiral staircase up from the land to the bridge. Wow. I found that on Google Maps. I was like, that looks cool. You know, on Google Maps Street View, I can see, I can get to I could climb down, but is there a gate blocking, people from going up? I don't know, but I took the risk and it was okay. I was freely able to walk up and down.
So that's have you seen the Spiral Highway? There's one outside of Izu, or in Izu, I think.
No.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
The highway was just straight. In this case, it's just a spiral staircase to get up and down from the riverbed, or the river bank.
I see. Interesting. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, cool.
Well, you look good. You look healthy, nice suntan.
Yeah. Yeah, my feet are also tan. So.
Oh, yeah, on both sides.
The tops. Yeah.
But no, it's great.
Sure.
It's a great accomplishment.
Thank you. And
the ripple. We don't know the ripple effects, right?
Right. That's the main thing. It's like I wanted to like do something kind of a little bit like wild / stretch my limits and get to see if I can do it. And like I kept saying in live streams, like, grab life by the horns. Just like, if you want to do something, go do it, man, because there's so many possibilities while we're alive. But once we dead, and there's nothing else to be done. So that just was like my kind of my, not mantra, but like one of the things I was reminding on the live streams is like, you just do whatever you want to do, man. Life is full of possibilities, and the time is now, kind of thing. Yeah, don't exactly go for it.
I'm glad you said that. It's powerful to hear that from
you. Thank you. Yeah, I also need to remind myself of that sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I also get scared and hold back and stuff. So I'm hoping that I learn to go for it more often than not.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great way to end it. That's very inspiring words. And
well, thank you.
My man who just walked across Japan, mostly barefoot.
Mostly barefoot. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty incredible.
It was fun. Yeah, the coolest part was like going through the tunnels is like a mystery. Like, what will we find? I don't know, kind of thing.
Yeah, Neverland sounded like.
Exactly. Yeah, it was cool.
I've never even heard of tunnels crossing before, and then 3-meter doors.
Yeah. It was two tunnels that were like end to end, and then they put a little mini tunnel between that section that had been outside before to make it all in one giant long tunnel.
Wow.
So
wild.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Cool stuff. Yeah. Well, thank you for your time doing the interviews as well.
I enjoyed supporting you, following you.
Thank you.
So hopefully do another one. I'm looking forward to what the next.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Okay.
All right.
Be well. Have a good one.
All right.
Thank you. Mata. Okay, Jane.
Mata ne.
Okay, bye. Bye.